many employees you have, because you have to pay for these employees and so on and so forth. So that's another indication of a person's wealth when he has a business. So this guy, he has 2 farms, he has a lot of employees, and he has a lot of manpower behind him, and Allah described it as such. So he says, جَنَّتَيْنِ مِنْ أَعْنَابٍ, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says that he has gardens of grapevines and of palms, right? So he goes, right? He has these palm trees as well. And he goes on to say, وَحَفَفْنَاهُمَا بِنَخْلٍ, which is saying that we fortified his gardens with palm trees, right? So it's not just that he has palm trees as well in his garden. We fortified his garden with palm trees. Now this is really interesting. I want you to imagine this. It shouldn't be that difficult to imagine. You have these grapevines, this vineyard all around in the middle, and then there are palm trees all around. Okay, so you have all of this in the middle. You have the vineyards and the gardens. All of this is in the center, and then around around the whole garden, you have palm trees that are that have been planted. And you have, if you've ever seen palm trees, they're usually really big trees. They're strong trees. And so what this ended up doing is also a security system for him, right? So it fortified his garden in the sense that normally people would have a fence, but he actually has, not only does he have a normal fence, but he has these palm trees surrounding his garden, which is protecting, the vineyards and all the plants and so on from the winds and from all of the nature that, could destroy these plants, right? So you have these huge trees that are just fortifying this garden. So picture that. So not only does he have a good investment, which is his crops and what he's planting, but he has a really good security system too. And obviously the palm trees themselves are producers for him, right? So these palm trees are also, making dates for him and so on and so forth, and he's also benefiting from the palm trees. So he's making money from his security system, right? So how many of us know of a security system that we're actually making money from? Most of us, end up, if we have security systems, we're just paying lots of money for them, and, the only thing we get in return is their protection. But this guy, he has this nice security system, it's protecting his garden, and on top of that, he's making money from these palm trees. So this guy has got money on top of money on top of money, right? So he's very, very wealthy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to say, وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمَا زَرْعًا, and between the trees and the vines and, was additional farmland. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only highlights, the top 2 of his gardens or the properties, or like the best of what he has. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also telling us, you already thought he was wealthy, you already thought he had a lot of money, from what the 2 gardens that he has. Those are only the top 2 things that he has. He also has additional farmland. He has other properties. He has other gardens that he's also making money from. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to say, كِلْتَ الْجَنَّتَيْنِ آتَتْ أُكُلَهَا. Now, I know many of us are not into farming, but those of us who have any or little knowledge of farming will know that farming is a very, very stressful thing, right? You have to work the entire year to get a paycheck. Farming isn't like a normal job where you sit at a desk and you get a check, once a week or every week or every 2 weeks, or like every month. Farming, actually, you get paid once a year. So, in farming, you have to work the entire year. When the crops come up and when you see the product of all your labor, right, that's when you're able to go ahead and get paid. And even that paycheck is not guaranteed, because it could be, there was a drought that year. You can have a drought, you can have insects that come and destroy your plants, you can have animals that come and destroy your plants. Anything can happen, and your entire, year's work is gone. So in a blink of an eye, it's all gone, and it can't be recovered. And that's the life of a farmer. It's something that's very, very stressful and difficult. But Allah describes both of these gardens that this guy has, آتَتْ أُكُلَهَا. They produced in abundance at 100%. There was always, they were doing their best. These gardens were always luscious. There was no problems whatsoever. And it used to give its food. So basically, it had 100% production rate. Year after year after year, he had 100% production. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that. And in farming, if your crops produce that well and you're doing well, then you make lots of money. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us how wealthy and rich this guy is, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is still describing the first neighbor. He hasn't even started talking about the next neighbor. So join us inshallah in the next episode where we talk about the next neighbor and we continue discussing the story. Thank you for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.